right.
Welcome back to a podcast.
We have no name because nobody knows how to pronounce it. No, I'm just kidding. Welcome back to the Fxner Fan Podcast, episode 17 now. Last time I said 15, but it was 16. But yeah, 17. I got it right this time, right?
First episode in history. 1 second. First episode in history where I'm wearing sunglasses indoors because...
He's a dickhead.
Yeah.
No,
because I'm a douchebag now.
First episode in history where I think we're both wearing a T-shirt from the brand, not random variations.
Sorry, guys. I have AIDS.
Yeah,
we know this.
Spank.
This has been gone over before on the podcast.
It was passed on from Spank on the Prime video. If you guys didn't, no, we'll throw the clip up so you guys can see it again.
I got AIDS, so
I already have AIDS.
Anyway, we're back, episode 17. I think it was 2 or 3 days ago, actually. When we talked about a couple weeks ago with Julian, Draymond Green released an apology video. I don't know if you saw it or not.
He made a documentary.
Everybody who has watched it has said it's absolutely dog shit.
He took the shit YouTube apology video, the typical shitty
made it into
YouTube apology video, and cranked it up about 10 notches.
Yeah.
We have moved into the realm of apology documentaries.
For sports. 30 for 30 apology videos. You're unplugged here, so.
Yeah, no, it's good. I just wanted to get rid of that shitty feedback noise I was getting.
Anyway, the Draymond Green apology video was absolute donkey balls. Everybody who's watched it or heard anything about it has said exactly the same. It's just another one of those like Travis Scott celebrity.
The apolomentary.
Yeah. Yeah. Horrible attempt at making an apology instead of actually like, hey, let's go talk to the guy, you know?
Oh, did we ever talk about the stuff with Bob Menery and the Nelk Boys?
No, we did not. Jesus, no, I missed that. I remember you mentioned it, but I didn't even.
Yeah, so there was like apparently a contract dispute between Bob Menery, you know who that guy is, right?
The guy who does
fucking, oh my fucking God, look at that. He broke his fucking leg, that guy.
What a fucking
what a hammerhead. Fucking that guy, the guy who does the voiceovers.
Shout out Bob Menery.
Bob Menery seems to have had a little bit of a falling out with the Nelk Boys.
Was he working with them?
Yeah, he was on the Full Send podcast and apparently had a very lucrative contract, but there was some sort of dispute where he came out and said he wasn't paid in full, whatever, and the contract isn't what they're saying it is. And then Kyle Forgeard came out and fucking posted like a picture essentially of the contract. Mm-hmm. Who know? I don't know what the end result was. I think it's still ongoing. Like the shit between them is just kind of like on and off in social media.
Yeah, but
it was like a fucking like really good deal.
Like what are we talking? Like a big number? Like what kind of number are we talking?
I think it was definitely 5 figures per episode.
Damn.
It was at least 5 figures. It was.
Wait, was he a regular? He was a regular on the show?
He was a co-host.
Oh, yeah. Shit.
So it was.
Realize.
So I think I forget the exact amount. It's like maybe like 15 episode.
Yeah.
And 50% of merch sales from the pod.
And that they made
not Full Send entirely, but
no, but they have regardless. Their merch sales are like you would think it's like a normal store brand.
Well, their merch is what drove them into the upper stratosphere of YouTube that they're in right now.
Well, the thing is, what I'm saying is like they're regardless of their YouTube alone, like the stuff that's related to their YouTube videos makes them a shitload of money. Not only that, but because of like how we a couple of years ago especially with the adpocalypse shit. There was the whole shit where some YouTubers made no money off the actual shit they were making. It was all their merch.
Yeah.
They're one of those YouTube channels where it's like, even now, they make more off the merch probably than the videos themselves. With ease.
I don't think they're making anything off the YouTube videos.
No.
They're lucky if their video stays up.
I'm surprised they don't have a plus page now. You know, like how Side Plus.
They do.
Like all do they? Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah. That's probably another way.
They have I don't know if it's an app or something. I don't know. I don't know. They got to make money somehow. Personally, to me, I'm like, no, I don't care enough to purchase that. You know.
Yeah, no.
There's
Side Plus, I'd consider it because they have their podcast.
And that's this fucking Sidemen, you know, and they're doing like big time.
And they're doing like
not that Nelk's not doing big time productions,
but it's a completely different content.
Yeah, they're doing like
fuck shit.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like they're not really doing like pranks anymore.
No, they're doing more or less
some of their stuff. It's entertaining to watch, but they're doing a lot of the same. Whereas the Sidemen are like so fucking creative with their videos.
Yeah,
Like
what they have. Honestly, if you guys see some, because excuse me, we mentioned it a couple episodes ago. We're gonna start doing some more stuff here where we're like, putting some fun and time into these, videos we're gonna kind of come up with eventually here. Don't be surprised if we get some ideas from some other channels, because they, like, one thing about YouTube, it's like everybody gets inspiration from everybody, but the big thing is how they spin it in their own way. So we have a lot of ideas where we want to spin things with like other stuff that people are doing. So don't be surprised if you see like hints of stuff, because we, like, mind you, our topic now and like what we've been kind of doing this whole time since the inception of the podcast has been, centered around social media. So you might see some stuff that's inspired by this stuff, and we'll always pay credit to where it's from. So we're not gonna be like, oh, we came up with like some what's the guy on TikTok who stole everybody's shit and was like, oh, I did it first or I did it better or whatever.
Oh, Soldier Boy.
No,
I know. That's not what you're talking about.
Wow, what the fuck is his name? New Main. That guy.
Yeah, New Main.
Well, now he's Kane now. He tried to change his image or whatever, which now he's been crediting people because he got shit for it. But nonetheless, last week we didn't get to talk about it because we had some guests on, so I wanted to focus on that or whatever we were talking about with them. We didn't get to talk about the KSI and Astrid Wet situation. Did you see that with the boxing face-off?
Do you think if I had a boyfriend I would do this?
So during this face-off, if you guys didn't see it, I'm sure most people who have Twitter have seen it by now. Some people might have missed it because it went kind of got sifted through the rough of all this Twitch drama and shit that was going on this last few weeks. Basically there was a face-off, for the zone and what is it called? It's called the what is the YouTube division called? Like X something. It's, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway,
Social Gloves.
Yeah, Social Gloves, the zone and all that shit, right? They were doing their presser, like their weigh-ins and stuff. Yeah. And these two girls who were weighing in started talking shit, like as normal, just for media, right? Mm-hmm. And the one girl goes, "You think if I had and I'm quoting this, she goes, this is her exact words. She says, the one girl said something to her about a boyfriend, and her response was, "You think if I had a boyfriend, I would do this?" She tries to grab KSI by the back of his neck and kiss him, and he goes like this. And dodges it. And everybody was eating it up.
Oh my God. So KSI's got a girl now, doesn't he?
I think so. I don't know. If he doesn't, then, but I mean, this girl, no downing, people who are doing OnlyFans and shit, but she does OnlyFans. So he's like, in his video he posted right after, like, responding to like what people were saying, he's like, if that was me a few years ago, I would have been all over that. But he was like, me now, especially because I know where her mouth has been. No, I'm good. That's what he said. That's exactly what he said. I'm quoting it.
KSI,
so this was not my words.
KSI New Sigma.
So, so that came out, and that was his like response. And then one of the tweets he responded in the video as well that he made, it was like a Reddit video. Was Speed was like, "This is why you get no bitches, bro. Look at you dodging these girls."
And then what Speed has Kai's name as on his phone.
Oh my God, yeah, that popped up today. So Speed, there's a clip of Speed. There's always a clip of Speed going viral. He's like literally, like we always say, he's a content machine. The most recent clip I just showed Joe today. Speed had Kai Cenat's name in his phone as Kai has a fat black dick.
What kind of shit is that?
And then Kai goes, "Can you please change that, bro?" He's like, and this is Speed's exact response: "I'm not changing it until you prove it's small."
He's not gonna change it his phone
until he proves it's small. Which, first of all, pause. Second of all, he has no fear, man. The internet is crazy. The fact that he just has no fear of saying whatever is hilarious to me.
He's uncancelable.
Yeah. Speaking of Speed, somebody who does content with, or used to do content, or is still affiliated with Speed in some way. Aiden Ross recently is getting a lot of shit from like some of his viewers because of how his streams are going ever since he broke up with his girl. He's like literally going off the rails, just doing random shit, bringing on like other porn stars, OnlyFans girls, and like I don't know, doing all this crazy shit. And all the people who like are watching this from the outside, like people who kind of know him or like are associated with him in some way, are like, bro, he's like, they don't say it to him directly, but they're kind of hinting like, yo, he's kind of off the rails since like leaving his girl. Like you could tell he's like might be going through some shit. He's trying to find a way to, fill it.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, I mean, by all means, it happens. I understand, but like, make sure whoever knows him, if you happen to see this,
keep him in check a little bit.
Keep him in check. Yeah, you got to keep your boys in check because you don't want them to go down the wrong path and do some stupid shit. But it's crazy. to see, you know, like the difference when he was with his girl to now.
Yeah, he
Pure
was
content,
also
just
like
focus on whatever.
really, really high on her. Like with when he was, I rewatched recently the episode of Aiden Ross on Impulsive.
Yeah,
and he seemed like he was like way
Yeah.
really into her.
he is.
Like
I mean, and I say this in the most respectful way. They had. It's from what it seemed like they had a good relationship. I don't know because I'm not them.
yeah,
You know, they're
But he
both
was
they're
saying
both
some-
good looking human beings. I'm not gonna be like, oh, they're ugly. That's why he left her. No, it's like.
He was saying some bold stuff. I mean, in
Yeah.
terms of like a newer relationship at the time. I mean, he was on Impulsive like a year ago.
Yeah,
by now,
yeah.
and he was talking about how he wants to marry her and everything.
Yeah,
and,
and, the way they like, even when the way they acted.
Yeah, and he knew he was saying that, you know, on quite possibly the biggest stage
yeah.
for podcasts.
Or on the internet in general.
Yeah,
for,
I
like,
mean, one of the biggest
putting out
stages
news.
on the internet, and you know, the self-proclaimed #1 podcast in the world.
Yeah, well,
I agree.
I might have to
I
argue that's
agree.
true.
They-
Nah, fuck that. We're #1, baby. Get us up there.
I would argue that they're the #2 podcast in the world behind.
You know, they don't have the Joe's Toe
behind yours
section. That's all I know.
behind yours truly. So
I don't see them with a Joe's Toe section or only fam.
yeah, you know, he
Finder
was
fans.
on the very large stage saying that.
Yeah.
So I mean, he seemed pretty confident in the relationship. So for it to go south like that had to take a toll on him.
I think the most recent thing I saw was that I don't know if you know who Sky Bree is. She's kind of been in like a lot of social media stuff with people just doing videos, but she does the whole OnlyFans shit and all that. She got his name tattooed right here on her like inside of her forearm. Yeah.
Who's
Aiden's? Yes. And he told her, he goes on stream, and this is one of the clips I was talking about where it's like he seems like yo, what the fuck? Like it doesn't seem like something he would do like recently, like with, you know, how you were talking about with his girl, but like in the past, you know how he had like Corinna and all those random people that would come on these girls and shit like that.
Wasn't
random-
Sky Bree with or was it someone else? I know Mike Malak's been hanging out with a couple
He was on
girls.
she was on a lot of the Love Live Serve videos with those guys. With
Yeah, but
Rhino and all those guys. And she was on the Sidemen video. Yo.
No, but I think she's I don't want to mess this up because it might have been someone else. I know Mike Malak has been really hanging out with these two OnlyFans girls. Like,
Yeah.
like really hanging out
You
with
talking
them.
about Sky Bree and who?
I don't know if it was Sky Bree.
Emily Willis?
Emily Willis
Yeah,
is
that's
one of
who's
them.
I
I
saw
thought
that one.
the other
I saw-
one was Sky Bree.
I wouldn't be surprised. Mike Malak hangs out with a lot of porn.
I'm looking at
It's
his
Mike.
yeah, I
It's
mean,
Mike. you never know what you're gonna get for that guy. Shout out Mike, by the way. Those burger reviews are elite. We need.
and
we need
his
those
his
flip
night
on.
shift videos have been great.
They've been
The past
cooking.
ones have
Yeah.
been pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of like people like blowing up and like, or not blowing up, but like having like going off the rails and shit like that. Did you see the James Corden thing that went down?
no.
So James Corden, if you guys don't know who he is, he's a night show host. A lot of people claim that he's not funny in any way whatsoever. I'm not going to argue it. I don't really watch him, so I don't really know. But recently, he's been getting a lot of shit because he went to a restaurant apparently, and more or less, when you go to a restaurant, when your server is having they mess up something, you don't go and shit on them. You know, obviously people mess shit up. It's a hard job to do. You're trying to keep track of 1,000 people's food orders throughout the day. And what happened with James Corden is they got his order wrong, right? So they go back and they remake the thing and they bring it back out. Like it was I guess there was a hair in it or whatever. And most people, they would just pick it out and be like, whatever, fuck it, you know?
Mhm.
Even people who would like, you know, a little bit more about germs and shit like that, they would just pick it out and be like, all right, whatever, it happens. He asked if he could get a new one, which is fine. That's fully justifiable if there's a hair in it. Cool. They bring it back to the kitchen, make a new one, bring it back out. Except this time, instead of bringing out the salad that he had with it, they brought out house fries with it by accident. So then he goes and what the fuck is this? Da da da. Starts bugging out on him and having this huge fit, and just like, you know, going to town on him, just like, you know, basically chewing him out for messing up, you know, giving him fries instead of a salad.
Mm-hmm.
So now everyone's going at him like, yo, what's wrong with this dude? Like, you know, people make mistakes. It's fries. Who cares? Eat the fries. If anything, I'd be happy. Oh shit, they messed up. They give me fries. Fuck yeah, let me get some fries. Like,
Nah, he was on the health kick, bro. He
Yeah,
he needed that salad.
I want salad.
It's always gonna happen. There's always gonna be that guy.
100%. Oh yeah.
It's like,
It's always gonna be a thing. There's
always gonna be those people who don't realize that the people you're doing this to are preparing the thing you're about to eat.
Yeah, so
So
like if you want to piss them off and they put something in there that you don't want in there, it's not you. I mean, you're asking for it.
yeah, like, you know, they're gonna you can try and sue or whatever you want. At the end of the day, it's still happening.
Yeah.
You're still gonna get the fucking
Yeah, whatever
the
food
cum
poisoning.
burger or whatever the hell they're
spit
gonna
burger
do
or
to chicken to your
The
food.
salty spittoon burger.
You know, you might get a bag off of it, but at the end of the day, you ate the cum burger. So I don't know if the money can help you live that one down.
Yeah, hey, you still ate the nutty burger. So what are you gonna say now? I think when it comes to like food service, like obviously I worked at foods like Jimmy John's for a little bit, so I understand when people mess shit up, it's whatever. Even sometimes when somebody messes something up, like you never know, you might fuck around and get something you didn't think you wanted to try before, and it ends up being good. Sometimes I'm like, they fucked up. Oh well, I'm eating it anyway. I'm hungry.
Yeah, I mean, if it's like a small mess up, like
Yeah.
I've had times where I got like a completely different item, but I'm like, this looks good.
This looks kind of good.
And then what I'll do after that is I'll make sure, okay, am I paying more for it than what it's worth?
Yeah.
And if not, I'll try it.
Yeah,
Whatever.
why not?
It was the same price anyway. But there's been times they brought me the wrong thing and it was like $10 more than what I
hell
got.
no,
I'm
yeah.
like,
No,
I'm
I'm
thinking,
good.
all right, I'm not gonna say anything about this as long as they don't charge me for
Yeah,
it.
if they don't charge me for it, fine, because my tab better be the same.
Yeah. But did you see the stuff with Amouranth? Did we talk about that last
No, we
time?
didn't. We missed that one.
No,
With
that-
the husband thing.
Yeah. So I'll
Fill him in
clip,
case. Yeah.
a clip, not leaked. She actually showed
This
this.
was
on the
her on
stream.
purpose on stream. She did this.
So obviously Amouranth is a pretty controversial streamer just because, the hot tub streams and the
She was a part of the hot
OnlyFans
tub,
content and whatnot,
Yeah.
and however people feel about that.
Mhm.
Personally, I don't think those kind of streams are that big of a deal
No.
or anything,
not at all.
but
Because at the end of the day, yes, it is on the front of Twitch, but at the end of the day, you still have to click on it to go see it. It's not like you're just, and it's in no way I understand like, oh, she's wearing a bikini. That's suggestive. It's not really suggestive. Somebody's in a pool with a swimsuit on. If you want to think that way, by all means, go ahead. That's what I mean. It's a mentality thing. You got to go into thinking that way.
And also for the people who were hating on her for the hot tub streams and stuff, it turns out that wasn't even her like idea. That wasn't her like thing she wanted to do.
Yeah.
Because she had on stream taken a call from her husband,
Which
who
nobody even knew existed.
Seemingly is definitely verbally
No,
abusing
100% verbally.
who knows what else is happening behind closed doors,
Yeah.
but she obviously had enough and decided to put a spotlight on it and put him right on the fucking front
page
lines
Twitch,
of
the
the
internet.
stuff that he's causing. So, there's no doubt. Could it have been staged? There's always the possibility, but
I would say-
well, I've watched the clips. I've watched a lot of I watched the clips to make my own opinion first.
I watch a lot of people's insight on it.
Yeah,
too.
and it seems like based on what I think,
I think
it's real.
I think it's real because
And I think the general consensus right now also is saying that it's in fact a real situation.
why?
So-
Because I was thinking about it and I saw Moist Critical talking about it. Why? What is there to loot? Why would you do that? You have nothing to gain from it.
Exactly.
Like, her content is putting herself out there. Whether it's some like we just mentioned it, if it it can give people the idea of
she's
single.
She's
or-
the front page of Twitch. There would be no reason for her to do something like that.
and people have this whole time thought she was single because her husband said, "Oh, let's not put me out there so that people think you're single." And da da da.
Charlie had a Charlie Moist Critical Penguins, however you know him.
Yeah.
White t-shirt, long hair, beard guy. He
man of
like you
many
were saying,
names.
he brought up a good point about how
They have everything to lose if this.
yeah, like if she does this, if anything, it's gonna hurt her. Even if it's true, which I think it is.
Yeah, I think it's 100%.
It's she needed to put a spotlight on it for her mental health, but career wise, this is gonna hurt her because
People thought she was single.
as much as most normal people might not think this, all those OnlyFans subscribers, anyone who does that shit subscribes to an OnlyFans. To me, it's like most of those people think they have some little part of their mind that thinks they have even the slightest chance with the person they're subscribing to.
Yeah. I think
And they have that like little delusion and this little fantasy, and they're trying to okay, I could subscribe to her OnlyFans and be one step ahead of all the dudes in her DMs, and it's like,
right?
and I hate to break it to you, that's you don't have a shot with her because you're
pal.
subscribed to her OnlyFans. If anything, that might hurt your chances, buddy, because you're just a client.
Yeah.
Yeah. And but yeah, so it's her revealing that she has a husband. If anything, it's gonna those guys are gonna be, oh fuck this, she has a husband, you know. I'm sure there's gonna be plenty of people who have that thought, who their first thought. All these
There's
people.
gonna be the guys who don't give a fuck as well. They're like, oh, I can steal her now because he's abusive.
Yeah,
but
it could go either way, but most likely it will go not in a good way for her. For her career, it'll go bad, but for this is something she needed to do.
Yeah,
and anyone else who's going through something like that,
get
like
it out there in any way you can.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and always, and again, like, if you're close to any of these like people who you think, don't obviously accuse someone, but if you think something's going on, always ask that person that's in that relationship who might be the one who's receiving the negative, you know, whatever it is, abuse or verbal abuse, physical, whatever form of it. Just check in on them, you know. And then, like you said, you don't know if it's physical or not. And I was gonna say, I saw a part of a clip where she showed the door and he like kicked the door in. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was.
Yeah, that same stream she was going around with like the handheld camera showing all
the
her
shit he broke and like this and that.
like just showing the room like and you know what things he's done.
I would not be surprised.
I think at the end, he got there and something they were off camera.
Oh yeah, I saw. It was her assistant asked her if she took her meds or some shit like that. Yeah. She cut off stream. I was like, yo, why would it seemed kind of out of pocket to be asking.
We don't know the context of
that situation,
of this whole situation, but to me, that didn't seem like a good move on the assistant's part.
No, not at all.
Because she's clearly, you know, finally coming out about a pretty fucked up situation, and her assistant's like questioning her what she's saying because she thinks she's not off her meds or something. You know, like. She thinks she's got like just crazy saying shit. Yeah, but Kanye actually is off his meds.
Yeah, and speaking of Kanye, we got the whole Kanye in the news every day thing going on.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand. You know, Kanye is. This is what people have to understand. Kanye has never been a dude who was scared to say what he was thinking, whether he's on the meds or not. He's always said random shit.
Yeah, I mean, and it's been, as much as some of it's been a complete dick move, or a lot of it has been a dick move on his part.
Yeah.
You know, for example, like the Beyonce had the best video of all time.
Yeah.
to take
years.
away from a moment
from Taylor,
you know,
Swift,
like Taylor Swift, whatever you think of
Shout
her.
out all the Swifties.
Whatever you think of her. But yeah, that was a fucked up move on his part. But then, you know, that's like something, you know, it goes away.
Yeah, and it's like we said, he's been doing it for years.
But now he's kind of going into like
the really edgelord,
unhinged, complete, just speaking his mind, which he's always done. But now the things from his mind are a little bit mind blowing, to be honest. I mean, he's totally blatant, and not insinuate this. He's blatantly said he's an anti-Semite. You know? And I saw a post where it's like, renowned artist, anti-Semite. I think we've seen this before at some point in history. And granted, you know, and who was trying to become a politician too. I think there was a certain Austrian guy who's done this before.
Yeah.
You know who I think you know who I'm getting at?
I feel like I know. Nah, you gotta have to give me a clue. Who do you say?
6 million. He was responsible for 6 million deaths. 6 million. You gotta know now.
Oh, yeah.
I think the Austrian threw you off. I think the misconception is that he's German.
No. I got, because I wasn't thinking of birthplace. I was just thinking of like what you were talking about. The 6 million thing, I got it. I got it after that. Because I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say Kanye's as bad as Hitler.
No, not anywhere near.
I'm not gonna try and do this, but I just thought that was a comparison. I was like, well, shit. Yeah, I mean, he's
very deranged.
He's kind of thinking some of the same things that
he's getting a little
Hitler was thinking.
Yeah, a little off the boat, a little too far now. But he's getting into deep water.
Yeah, and the thing is, you know, anyone with that big of a stage can do a lot of harm off of what they're 100%. Saying. But to me, I think generally most people don't take anything he's saying seriously. No. I don't even think he takes now. If anything, it was more to society more detrimental before than it is now, because now he's saying shit that's so off the wall that
bullshit.
Even like the cultist Kanye followers are starting to like. the meme now is like, he made graduation. He made graduation.
Yeah.
Like, even the cultist Kanye followers are starting to be like, I can't defend this man anymore.
Yeah.
Which, to be honest, I love his music. I stopped defending him. Well, I never even started defending him, to be honest, because some of the shit he does outside
so
of music
bizarre.
is just completely like,
There's no way to explain it.
you can't agree with it at all. Like,
It's
so now
it's to a point where it's like, all right, well, dude, I tried, but like,
I think he's losing his following, and I say following as in like
the cult following.
Yeah, the cult, not his follower count, because that is still
That's going up because
sky
of this
high,
shit.
but his legitimate following of people who are trying to back his every move and agree with him in every way.
Would you
They're
say that
kind of fizzling out?
Would you say that it's kind of because he's kind of on the tail end of his music career kind of thing, or 'cause I know sometimes artists get to that age where they kind of get...
I don't think that's it at all. I think it's just the things he's doing. Well, I shouldn't say at all. That's a very small fraction of it.
Yeah, like he's starting to realize it in a sense.
Are you talking about losing his following or what he's doing?
No, I'm talking about his craft-wise, his music. Like he's like
but are you saying, do you think that what he's doing is happening, or
no? I'm saying as in like, because we've seen other artists, they get like a huge, they have a huge career, right? They get towards that end of their career, like end half of it or whatever, tail end, and they start to just do random shit. Like Eminem had the random like shit where he went on tirades of shit, right? Stuff like that.
Yeah, I get what you're saying now, but I still think that it's a small part of it.
Yeah, no, I think agree.
That's he's definitely not music wise, not at the level of the run he had in the 2000s and even the 2010s.
Still a great album, Donda.
Donda's good.
I haven't heard 2 yet. Is that even a is like it's only on that fucking stem thing, right? Or is it actual thing, or is it like?
It's I don't know, man.
I haven't even heard.
He is an enigma at this point. I really needed to make sure I got that out right, because but he really is. He's kind of he's a complete wild card.
Yeah, you never know.
And on the off chance that he sees this, get back on the Lexapro, man. Just do it. Just start taking. I think Steve-O did something like that too. He's like, get back on the meds, man. Steve-O, man, get back on the meds.
Yeah, it's the Steve-O voice. Speaking of like music artists and careers, how we're on the topic of people like kind of having a downfall of their career. Have you seen what's going on with the baby recently?
No.
He is literally like unable to sell out, crowds and stuff like that, be able to sell tickets.
Wasn't he supposed to be in jail? Or no, that was Lil Baby, right?
I think, I don't know, one of the rappers.
It was a duo that got in trouble.
I think it was Gunna,
for something.
Gunna and Young Thug.
I think it was Gunna and someone else. Was it Young Thug?
They're still in jail.
Young Thug and Gunna.
Their trial is later, I think, this year or early next year. But back to the baby, what I was talking about. Recently, I don't know why, but they're saying like a lot of people are what's going around on the internet and Twitter and everything. Or people are saying he's blackballed out of the industry because he can't book any shows, or nobody wants to go to his shows anymore. And kind of like we saw with remember the video that went viral of Smoke Perp when his show had like 5 people in it.
Yeah,
he's basically in the exact same position now. Mind you, the baby last year was like out of this world character.
On top of the game.
You couldn't touch him.
I think and I know he was doing some controversial shit too. But,
yeah.
I mean, for him to get kind of not canceled, I guess
blackballed in a sense,
before someone like Kanye, after what Kanye is doing.
That's what I'm saying. And the thing is, literally months ago, the baby was selling out some of the hugest arenas. He is, arguably one of the biggest artists on the planet, and couldn't be touched. You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden now, I saw an ad the other day on Instagram of the baby's performing at the Patio, which is one of the smaller venues in Chicago, and people are like, "Yeah, I'm not going to that." All the comments. I'm not going to that. I'd rather watch Lil Uzi. I'll save my money for something else. And then they were saying like people were in the comments were like, our artist is going through it when the tickets are $10 or free. I was like, dude,
I want to look up these prices now.
Look up the baby at the Patio, and you'll see like at the Patio in Chicago, and you'll see like the tickets are like they should be dirt cheap if I'm not mistaken. That's what people are saying, at least on the comments of it.
Patio Theater.
Yeah.
DaBaby tickets. Let's see. Cheapest one on here is 71.
71.
Yeah.
How big is the patio theater? How many? Like, do you have a capacity number on there?
1,496.
Yeah, very small compared to things.
For
that
how big DaBaby was.
That's puny.
DaBaby was like
Selling out like United Centers. and shit.
Yeah, United Center, United Center All-State Arena level. Probably this time last year.
Yeah.
And now he's fucking playing the patio theater
For 1,000 people, which is like a bar. It's probably like a bar place, like a bar venue, or like a small theater.
Yeah, it is.
It's like
it's definitely not somewhere you'd expect.
Like it's so like I almost feel bad because like obviously DaBaby's got into some issues, but I don't feel like any of those were as bad as what some other artists have done, or like we said with Kanye, where they're only performing for 1,000 people.
Also, for DaBaby to have sitting room is weird.
Yeah, there was also
for a rap concert to have
sitting seats,
all sitting.
Yeah,
because patio theater.
I've never been there. I never even heard of that place.
I don't think I've heard of it. I've never been there though. But it's literally like
kind of like how the Jaleel one was. Where there's the bar.
Wondering if they like if there's it's like seats. It's a theater. So
it was a few months ago. I feel like DaBaby was on a tour doing huge shows, and now speaking of shows, we saw. I don't know if you saw it, but it was trending on Twitter for like the whole day yesterday and the day before was the Kendrick Lamar's like live concert that was streamed on Amazon from Paris or whatever too. And
no, I haven't seen anything about
dude,
that.
Every single person who watched it said it was like a masterpiece. I don't know, because Kendrick Lamar put out some pretty cryptic messages over the last year or so, saying like, "Oh, this might be his last project or whatever, or maybe he's moving on to another style of projects, or maybe working on other people's stuff." But this show that he did in Paris, I don't know if it's the last one of this tour or whatever, but he had like a different set, like not like set like songs, but like his set, like actual built set for each song had like a different setup. He had like
crazy.
He had like people come out on stage with like flashlights to do the lighting and shit like that, like flashing them on him, like kind of make it look like strobe lights. He had all this crazy shit, and people were like, because it wasn't like like where it's like a normal show where they just got like the two cameras from two angles going up, and that's all you see. They had people in the crowd on like carts, like riding through this the crowd, getting shots of him like going around the stage, doing all this. It looked like something like, you remember those movies they used to make like a long time ago? They had the Justin Bieber one where it was like a tour video, like a movie.
Yeah.
It was like that, but
like
a live
the
show.
Travis Scott documentary and stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was like that, but a live show. Like it was actually like how the show was filmed and like streamed live. It was crazy.
Have you ever seen The Wall by Pink Floyd? The
No,
tour
I haven't
they do
seen
for
that.
that.
That's one I want to see.
Dude, they probably don't do it anymore. They're got to be pretty old now.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure you could find that.
They for their concert, it's a giant screen behind them, and it's the brick wall, the wall, and they have like different stuff playing on it and stuff, or like because it's the whole album's based on like war and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's telling us this story, and it's this huge like cinematic behind them the whole time while they're playing the songs. So
that's pretty cool.
It's kind of like the same thing, instead of just simply a stage and lights, you have a whole production here.
Yeah. It was crazy.
And for that to be seen in rap is probably something that has been done very few times, if ever. Not that I can remember.
Yeah, no, not that I can. And I'm not surprised it was Kendrick Lamar that did it.
Yeah.
Out of all the people, that'd be the person I expect to do it. But it was. I don't know if you find a clip on it later or whatever, you'll see it was some. I don't know if they. I'm hoping that they made it like a thing that you can watch on Prime Video, because I didn't watch it live, but I saw the clips from it, and every single one I saw was like,
and he Kendrick's a showman. And he knows how to entertain a crowd and how to keep people engaged without having to be in controversy.
Yeah.
So to see him do something like that, it's impressive as anything.
Impressive as hell,
but not surprising that he would do something like that.
Because I feel like
he's just a great performer.
Yeah, I feel like every time I see a thing about his tour, there's never been like something negative about it. I think the one time that there was something negative was when he performed at the VMAs, where he was like talking, and then he used the soundbite on his album Damn. Remember they were talking about how they didn't like his performance?
Yeah.
That's the only time I've ever heard him be in like some sort of controversy, and it wasn't even like something he did wrong, as he's speaking his mind and people didn't like it.
Yeah.
And not in a Kanye way of speaking his mind, like actual like social injustice speaking his mind thing. Recently, there was a 27th birthday party for a specific celebrity that kind of had some posts on social media that everybody's eating up right now. Doja Cat.
Yeah, so there's been you know, there's been a whole community and probably a subreddit somewhere.
Oh, yeah,
Probably
100%.
a Discord somewhere.
100%.
Definitely TikTok comment sections of people
Absolutely.
who've been trying to leak Doja Cat's nudes for
From her birthday party.
for I mean no, just not
oh,
even
just
that,
in general. Yeah.
forever.
Oh, 100%.
And,
I agree.
you know,
oh yeah.
People every time we have it break on Twitter every now and then starts trending, you know,
Yeah.
see people are going crazy and it's like a Photoshop photo or something,
Yeah,
you know, like
yeah.
And now
It's real.
not only is it real, it is from the source. She
posted it herself.
posted Doja Cat posted a topless picture.
Herself.
Just straight up posted it. And what's really weird is what's really strange is it got removed from Twitter.
Yeah.
Do you see some of the shit that's on Twitter?
Twitter. Okay. For anybody,
And it was like it was a nude picture,
Yeah,
but it was a tame.
Yeah.
She had she just had her top off. She didn't have no pants or anything like. And even if she did, there's some way worse shit on Twitter.
Okay.
In terms of nudity.
if you have not come across it yet on Twitter, which I don't know how, you can come across it by accident scrolling far enough in people's replies.
Go to her liked post, dude.
You-
You could probably find it.
Yeah. If you go through Twitter, right? And it's been, how long has Twitter been around? For years now, right? If you have not come across porn on Twitter yet, I don't know what kind of parental filters
If you
have.
use Twitter enough, you'll accidentally come across.
I'm not talking about on purpose. I'm talking about just generally scrolling your feeds or the trending. You will come across it no matter what you do by accident. So, nonetheless, and I'm not talking about like, oh, her boobs are out, which is what Doja Cat's picture was. I'm talking about like full blown people are having sex. it's like full blown porn on Twitter.
And there's some bad shit on there, man.
If we're being honest, Twitter is like the OnlyFans promotion hub.
Twitter is the new Twitter at this point is essentially like the new Live Leak.
Yeah, quite literally like almost like
Yeah.
dark web type of content.
It's not necessarily with how the internet is now overall for the internet. It's not weird that was taken down.
No.
But in the context of
Twitter,
Twitter,
yeah.
it's really odd that that's something that out of anything would be taken down.
Yeah.
And just opened Twitter and new Antonio Brown tweet.
Yeah, what is it?
Tampon Bay. Tom Booty. You dig? It's,
AB baby.
AB seems to be
Back on his tirade of
kind of happy that Tampa Bay lost it.
Yeah, if you're dating someone on the Wisconsin volleyball team, you might want to check up on that because that might not be going too well.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a leak from Wisconsin volleyball team who won a championship last year.
Yeah,
you
last
said?
year, I believe.
And somehow got out. I
40
honestly somehow very sarcastic when I say that
Yeah.
because there's a
At least 40.
fuck ton of videos.
There's like 40 plus videos and
And-
pictures of this shit.
to have that many videos on that many phones from that many places.
There's only your team in that room. Nobody can just
Yeah.
walk in there.
You got to think that's gonna get out there at some point.
Well, not only that, but you got to also think that that's internal at that point because locker rooms, you like for sports especially, when those teams leave the court, field, whatever it is, those locker rooms are private access.
Well, they were drunk too, so all
Yeah.
it takes is one of them to send it to their boyfriend or their friend,
But
who
the
and
thing
then
is, there's so many different people recording. Did they all do it?
exactly,
Like, what?
exactly. With that many people in a room, one of them sent it to the wrong person,
Or put it in a
or
group chat.
one of them was the wrong person
Yeah,
because
or somebody put it in a group chat or post it on a public story or whatever.
I mean, just the sheer amount of videos and photos that were taken, it's like bound to be released at some point. And just with how
100%.
much there was, I'm surprised it took this long because
They kept it for a year, so somebody had to got pissed off or something and said, "Fuck it, I'm airing this one
I
out."
mean, like I said, all it takes is one friend or
Friend,
significant other to decide to
screw it,
have a falling out and be like, all right, you want to do this to me?
let it fly, baby.
Have a little Homelander moment.
Yeah,
and
right?
be like, I'll lose everything, then I'll have nothing to lose.
Yeah, I honestly, like I said, I mentioned it to you earlier. Going back to practice the first day after that leak comes out has got to be one of the most awkward things, or even going back to class. You're like everyone's like looking
going
at you
anywhere.
Like, everyone's looking like you. Oh, yeah, you. I know you.
Going anywhere with any people who are under 30.
Yeah.
Let's say that.
Or over.
Or your coach. or your coach.
Yeah.
Or, you know, I would
facilities.
say like they'll be lucky maybe their parents didn't find out about it.
Oh, I'm almost positive.
But
considering they're our age, their parents are still pretty young.
yeah.
They definitely have seen it.
But, you know, their coaches definitely had to have seen it.
There's apparently, I guess, because I looked it up on, Google just to see what like news stories about it. And they said like there's, I guess, an internal investigation. Maybe they think it might be some sort of one of the trainers or something like that, or not. No guarantees of who it is or what it is, but they're trying to see where the source came from, who leaked this out and whatever. Which is granted great for them because obviously as you know they're all college volleyball players. What the oldest one might be 25, 26 at the most.
Yeah.
They're all like, what the fuck is going on? How did this happen? Which, granted, you were all drunk and jumping around the locker room with your tits out and doing whatever the fuck and posting all these random videos. Something's bound to happen, right? But nonetheless, I'm glad that they got on it so fast. Like literally the second it leaked, there's hundreds of news articles talking about how they're getting on it already.
Yeah.
So at least they're paying attention. Like they're not just like, oh, it happened, whatever. It's not like, the normal school thing. Oh, these are unfortunate circumstances. We're doing our best. No, like they're on it.
And this is why there's like those, all those rules about like no camera phones in the locker rooms
or like
shit.
Bathrooms and shit. Yeah, is why.
Here's your reason why that they don't allow that to happen.
Yeah, especially in locker rooms like that and stuff like that.
Yeah, especially in like high schools and stuff too, because that could get ugly fast.
Oh my. That's what happened at Maine West. When I was there, like it happened with the whole water polo team and all that shit. And
I'm sure that's happened at every fucking high school in the United States,
or at least the majority of them,
because it's everyone's got their fucking phone on them. Everyone's recording everything and posting it. So,
just let's keep the camera.
Keep in mind where you are.
Yeah, and what you're doing.
Because there's always a chance that someone's gonna record what you're doing.
Yeah, or always a chance
if you start doing some wild shit like that. There's always gonna be the possibility that someone's gonna whip their phone out and fucking start recording. So
yeah, or always a chance that somebody, if you do record it, that it might get put somewhere that you might not want it to be, eventually or whatever. Just be careful, please. I think you had something you wanted to mention about UFC or anything like that. I don't know if you want to.
There was a UFC event over the weekend that I did not get to watch because I had to work. Yeah. And it was in Abu Dhabi, and because of that it was at a weird hour. It was Saturday, like midday.
Yeah,
it was
that's
like
very
morning to midday.
Yeah, that's odd. So,
I didn't see all the fights. I saw that Sugar Sean got the win in controversial fashion because. I guess Peter Yan had like 2 minutes of ground control, and it had a little ground.
So there was no
ground
knockout. It
pound
went to
on him.
decision.
No, it was decision. But,
wow.
I didn't get to see the whole fight yet. Obviously the full fight videos will break a few days after, a few days, maybe a few weeks. But I guess that a lot of the UFC fan base is not happy about that one.
Yeah,
I'm an O'Malley fan. I wanted him to win, but if it was actually an illegitimate win,
it should be reviewed or whatever.
I mean, I don't know if they can really take that back now because
fair enough.
Yeah, it's not like the boxing events where it could be reviewed after disputed. I don't know if they do that really for UFC, but
if they do, they might want to try.
Nonetheless, O'Malley, from what I've seen, definitely belongs there. It's not one of those things where like he had no chance against Yan and they pushed him
his own.
And because he's a marketable person for them, but he definitely showed he belongs.
Like he can. I
think there should be either way. This should become
a series.
A series, yeah. Because
I think
they're two of the best. Two of the best in that division. I think if it was that
close, they should 100% make it a series because, like you just said, they're two of the best in the division. Obviously, this is a big deal with a fight. One guy seeming that he won, everybody else thinking that it was a fluke win or that he got lucky or maybe there's favoritism or whatever being played. I think it should 100% be another fight. But
another UFC news from that event, Charles Oliveira has been officially taken down by Islam Makhachev.
Yeah, That's
So-
that's a big one. Isn't Khabib his trainer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Makhachev
Is
obviously.
Khabib retired?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
he's a
what I
coach
thought.
now.
Yeah, yeah.
But Makhachev obviously is a a
fighter.
different breed of
Fighter.
for wrestling.
Yeah.
Khabib
Especially
being
with Khabib in his corner.
Khabib being his mentor and his coach, and what we watched Khabib do for years in the UFC.
Yeah.
Khabib is arguably the best UFC fighter ever, and for sure probably the best
wrestler, for sure.
best guy on the ground. And it seems that Makhachev is kind of
Taking after him.
taking after him. We'll see. I mean, I guess the sky's the limit for this guy from what it seems. So, but he's got a great coach, and
He's got a bright future from what it looks like.
I was iffy on that fight because Oliveira, I'm on him. I know he's a amazing fighter, but for me being a fan of him, it's like kind of neutral.
Yeah, it's a hit or miss.
I was definitely in Poirier's corner when he was fighting him, but
Oh yeah.
the Makhachev and Oliveira, two amazing fighters.
Mhm.
But Makhachev is just proving
He's better.
again that he's.
I'm better.
He's better.
He's
I
better.
mean, he submitted Oliveira in the second round.
With how Makhachev is fighting and how he's progressing, obviously with Khabib in his corner makes it even better. He's got a very, very solid future ahead of him. Obviously UFC careers aren't the longest careers, but they pay enough while you're fighting. And if you're obviously doing endorsements, whatever it may be, you gotta. Especially with Khabib in your corner, you got a solid future for these fights. Episode 17 is now in the books behind us. Shout out to everybody who watched. Shout out to everybody who came back. If you're new, thank you for coming in here and watching the pod, enjoying what we're talking about. Leave your feedback down below, comments, whatever you want to hear us talk about. If you have something that's going on, social media, sports, whatever it may be, let us know. We'll give our opinions on it, what we're kind of feeling on it, stuff like that. Definitely come back, subscribe, share the video, and we will see you guys in the next episode. Peace.